Yo YouTube, welcome back to another video, and as you can see by the title, we are in the trades tournament number 86. And yeah, as you can see, we got fast, regen, drowsy, depleted, and blinded, 3 band elements, and buffed unit is Sanji, but we are not using him in traits. Maybe in traitless he might get some use because he does have a full AoE attack, but I don't know, But yeah, you can see the score we did get is over here, 443, 100 billion. And yeah, in terms of the team setup, this is what I am running. No ands means no clockstone, of course. So yeah, this is the team setup. So let me save it to a random slot. Let me just save it to like here, I guess. And yeah, let me look you through it. So you got Ichigo with this burb right here, his own Memorial with Divinity. This burb right here on Madara, his own Memorial with Divinity. C2 Chopper on our Jiraiya with his own Memoria. I did roll solo on it just for the bit of a range boost, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference, so it's kind of relevant. Then over here on our horse girls, you want Divinity, Kaido's Memoria. I got this burb right here. Then for Naruto, I'm running this burb right here with his own Memoria with Deadeye. And then for Yamamoto, his Vanguard Familiar, of course, we can get from Odyssey Adventure, and a lot of you guys will be having Contagious on this, but that's fine, just keep it. The only reason I'm keeping Divinity is because I got it very early on and I can't be as rolling on it anymore. I just want to save my shards. And yeah, you get this from Odyssey Adventure as well. So that's pretty much it for the team setup. You can change him out for Vanguard Century if you don't have him, but you might as well just get him. He makes such a big difference because you will see in the run how much his summons are so crazy. And bear in mind, since it is blinded, he does have 50% less range, and with that 50% less range, he still does a lot of damage, so it's kind of crazy. So he still does 65 billion in that run. So anyways, let's just get into this run, let's go. Alright, so pretty much strat is going to be very simple. The strat does not get hard at all until we reach like wave 35ish, wave 40, around there. But yeah, before that, it's going to be very easy. Yo, Loki, that comment on the last video actually, it made me laugh, but I'll put it on the screen what it was. Wait, give me a second. So, oh my days, yeah, I'll put it on the screen and you guys can see. I don't really care, but you sound like you have 10 years of snot within your nose. But you're still the GOAT. Alright, mate. You know what? I see what he means, bro, but genuinely, this is just how I sound. Wait, let me drink some water and like blow my nose just to make sure, innit? Give me a second. Alright, does it sound any different? I don't know, but anyways, just focus on the strat. So pretty much you can see that your Uman stats are going to be, of course, something that you should be doing until wave 37 or wave 38. However long it takes you, but you guys should know what to do with that. So yeah, oh my days, voice crack. But yeah, pretty much you have to prioritize that and just keep doing it non-stop. And you can see I have my Yamamoto placed down very early on at the front. Even though it is blinded and he's going to lose 50% of his range, he is still doing so much damage, and the summons he has brings so much value for us. That's why he's just placed at the front, just so he can get the hits in, because as you guys do know, he spawns summons on takedowns, which is very impactful. So anytime an enemy dies, they're just getting turned into a summon, or take pretty much 2 summons, because you have one from the side and one from the back. So yeah, it's just pretty nice to have. But yeah, what you're going to be doing from pretty much the start of the match, like around like wave 10ish, you should be done. Wave 7, wave 8. You're going to be ninjutsuing Jiraiya onto Jiraiya. That way you can get a max Jiraiya for pretty much, how much yen is that? 1.4k yen. And by doing that, you can pretty much max all your ninjutsu units. Just follow what I'm doing. And you won't really speak much for this part because it's just following what I'm doing. If I feel like I need to speak, I'll just mention something. As you can see, I have a Yamamoto on auto upgrade. The next unit after that will be Ichigo. You are placed at the very start of the enemy spawn. And yeah, so we're gonna have 2 units just maxed out by like wave 20, 22, and then all our ninjas units maxed out afterwards. Then we max out Uma, and as you can see, we're gonna have so much spare yen that if an enemy does leak, or like a group of enemies, we can just follow with Jiraiya and just sell and replacing. But yeah, I'll be back once there's something important that needs to be said. And yeah, as you guys can see here, I'm making sure I get my placements accurately. I want pretty much all my Jiraiya's placed in a way where they're hitting, maximizing their AoE. That's what matters the most. Maximizing their AoE so they're hitting a lot of enemies. And yeah, you can see that Mardra is going to allow us to pretty much get all our units placed down for free, pretty much. So it's just very nice to have. And your Mardra is also applying full map slumber, so it allows me to have a full map burn. And yeah, as you can see with the Jiraiya's at the back, I'm just slowly moving them to a spot where they're pretty much maximizing the AoE. And you can see we have a lot of summons, 200 summons. Utilizing the North ability, we can get that number higher up because, of course, these summons are not constantly dying and they'll just be stuck in just one spot. So we'll use that later on, yeah, it will help us a lot. If you guys didn't see, I set that one to strongest AoE or targeting because eventually the bosses will be the main problem. So that's why I set strongest. And yeah, I'm using Naruto at this point just to deal with this boss spot. He will just die regardless to the summons, and yeah, you don't really have to worry too much about him, don't worry. And here I decided to put my Jiraiya in a spot where he's covering the whole area, but of course he is a Kone AoE, so he won't really be hitting all the enemies, but I want to put him in a spot where he can get a decent amount of enemies hit at all times. So it's like he's gonna be switching towards, of course, like who he's facing, but it does help. And here I'm bringing my Madara back to the front just to make sure he's attacking the enemies at the front. And yeah, I'm positioning myself here at a point where I can pretty easily hit the enemies. Like, want to maximize the AoE from Naruto's or Fox transformation. So I'm just gonna stay in this spot for majority of the time. When the wave 30 boss is a wave 30? Now wave 31. I don't think we have to move as much. But wave 40 we're gonna have to move a lot. And yeah, you can see Yamamoto's damage. We're going to be using the North ability at this point just to ensure we can get his damage numbers up. Because for the wave 30 boss, I do want stronger summons. That's why I did that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure for this boss I don't move. Let's see. I just let the summons deal with him. We'll deal with her. And yeah, as you can see, the summons do a very good job. That's why I do like Yamamoto summons. Because they also speed up with the tournament speed, so they won't always be the very slow pace like how they usually are. They'll just speed up. So yeah, once that dies, we can just keep doing our Madara and Naruto method. And just staying back here. And eventually we'll have to move. That's for the wave 40 boss, so when the wave 40 boss does spawn, we'll just follow him. And yeah, even though we do have leaks, these 4 demons are very slow. And we also got Jiraiya's back there to deal with them. And what's nice about doing this Madara thing, where we're constantly getting Madara back in by ninjutsuing onto him, he applies his slumber debuff. And what's nice about that is when he applies that debuff, because of his Memoria passive, he pretty much does bleed to any enemy that he does debuff. So theoretically we have full map burn, which is very nice. It just means free damage onto these enemies. And there's one thing I probably could have utilized a bit better towards the end of the run, and I'll explain what. Because as you see, I do apply Rupture with my Jiraiya, so towards the end of the run, when I know I am gonna die, I should have removed the Jiraiya at the front and utilized the full map burn to get free damage in, because as you guys do know, we'll let them regen and then get damage, regen, get damage, you know what I mean? Because there's some enemies where I'm just guaranteed killing, so if I don't kill them off and let them regen, it'll just give me in turn more damage. So it's something little, like a minor little thing that you guys can do, but if you guys want to do it for the extra effort and extra damage, you guys can easily do it. But yeah, here's where you have to focus. I say focus, but I use my Ichigo nuke a bit early, just 2 stocks of it, but you don't really have to. And what I'm doing here is I'm making sure I move my Naruto and Madara to a more open space, because clicking and clicking on and off is going to be very annoying once they're like in a spot where they're like separate from everyone else. As you can see, I used my 2 stock nuke and it took like 200 to 300 million off, which is very nice, good damage. And I'm just staying in the same spot for now, and then when the boss does move, I do follow him as well. And as you can see, we're following him. Just keep doing the Naruto and Madara. And yeah, that's pretty much why I have my Jiraiya set to strongest, because the boss is the strongest enemy. So whenever he's in range, it's gonna make sure that my Jiraiya is targeting him, and that way we can get the slow off on him. And you can see he's down there. He's getting slowed, but he's still very fast, you know. And yeah, once these enemies at the front do die, you'll see that this boss gets absolutely like obliterated by the summons. Look at these summons. Bear in mind, these guys don't even have any crit. These summons have no crit chance at all. It's just pure damage, bro. Look at that. And yeah, he just eats up all those summons and he will just die off. And then we can go back to a spot where we're more ideal. I go to the middle, very to the middle right here. So I try to get a position that's more optimal, but this spot would have been optimal, but as you can see, I'm flipping stuck. And then here, this is the worst spot you can go to. Please move a bit more forward, because as you can see, I'm going to get some issues. So not right now, but you'll see it happens, I think, one time in this run. Okay, I guess not in this run. Maybe later on. I hate this Naruto thing, man. Trying to position it is so frustrating. And you can see this Jiraiya at the front. Please set him to bosses afterwards, because as you can see, he is not slowing these guys. I kind of accidentally set him to strongest. So yeah, set him to bosses, please. And yeah, these guys are not getting slowed. I could have just followed these guys and slowed them, which would have helped me a lot more. Because as you can see, the Jiraiya that is at the back, since he's set to strongest, he's not really slowing these guys at the front, which is causing me to, of course, having to each go pull a lot earlier, which is ideally what you... Not ideally, but like it's something you don't want to happen at all. If you can pull the wave 50, like if you can pull out like wave 52, that is the perfect point, you know what I mean? But yeah, I do end up dying to these guys, and then Ichigo does revive and pulls them all the way back. And at this point, the only enemy that you should be dying to is the boss. So you're going to be focusing these guys, making sure you're getting the kills onto them, killing the front enemies, and doing as much damage as you can to the 4 demons. And utilizing Yamamoto's North ability, you want to build his damage back up. You can see he's done a lot of damage, you know, 56 billion damage for someone who has 50 or 25 range is kind of crazy. So yeah, I popped my North active just to make sure that I can have summons at the back. And yeah, here, this is where I get the issue. As you can see, this part has like a very shit placement. And yeah, I lost like a few seconds of damage right there. So that's why I told you guys to move forward slightly. And I am focusing the 4 demons, but I should not really be focusing these guys. I should be staying as far to the front as possible, because as you guys can see, as long as you slow these guys efficiently, you won't really die to them. You'll die to the boss. So I want you guys to go back to where Naruto and Madara is, and just stay in that spot. Don't focus these 4 demons at the front. You want to utilize your Jiraiya just to slow them. That's all you have to do. So focus the enemies behind you and just slow these guys at the front. And you can see me replace Jiraiya here. This is what I should have done earlier for the mobs at wave 46 or wave 47. And here I'm utilizing the Naruto active, so I don't have to do the ninjutsu one more time. And it's just about slowing these enemies as much as you can. And yeah, as you can see, I am pretty much close to dying. So what I do here at this point is I move over to the front. do one more ninjutsu and just attack the enemies that spawn. And I do use Madara's nuke at this point as well, so you're using Madara's nuke. And it does get us a good amount of damage, but that's pretty much it for the strat. So if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.